Hey YouTube adventurers, and welcome to another video from the Steve Adventure Academy. And today we're going to be talking about this guy. Whew, hard to even get it in the frame. So this is the Cold Steel Luzon. This is the Large Luzon. And you might be asking questions like I was when you look at the catalog. Why doesn't Cold Steel make an extra large Luzon? Because frankly, shouldn't they make an extra large about everything? Well, once you see the large Luzon, you start to get the idea why they don't make it extra large, because, well, where would you put it? Now this does have great pocketability. It's been a real fun toy. It's got a variety of deployment methods. There are thumb studs, so you can slow and easy thumb stud it if you want to, but why would you? It's got the flippers. That's the way to do it for sure. And of course, it's got the ability to be waved open. Fail. Waved open coming out of your pocket. And so there's lots of opportunities there. And of course, if we compare it to a standard sized pocket knife, this particular one, you'll see that there's a review on our channel from the dollar store. Let's hold it up closer to the screen so it looks like it's got some size. There we go. So it's a pretty standard sized pocket knife from the dollar store. And then we'll compare it to the Luzon. Let's see. Are they about the same size? Oh, look how much smaller the Luzon is. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, now they're about the same size. And then wait a minute. Well, now here they are side by each. Whoops. Yeah, this one is less long than the blade of the Luzon. Huh. So that's a big knife. Let's compare the Luzon to something else. It's a surprisingly good knife for $2.50. So something else might be Cold Steel Master Hunter in 3V. This is a pretty big knife. And so we can see, oh look, they're just about the same size as well, but not really. Yeah. Okay, so there's the Master Hunter. Alright, well, let's take it up a notch. So something else that we might compare Cold Steel to Cold Steel when it comes to size, because, maybe size matters. It's hard to know. We'll go all the way to the 13TL, 7-inch Cold Steel Warcraft. And here comes the Luzon. Wait a minute. Okay, let's get it lined up here. Luzon in back, Warcraft in front. Whew. Is that thing just a little bit longer? Okay, let me just hold it here. Okay, let's get this right. So, butt to butt. There they are. They're lined up. And we're just going to go straight through the frame. I think we got Luzon left over. So, why don't they make an extra large? Because that would be, well, it might be kind of awesome. But, getting back to the Luzon. This is a surprisingly good knife. Now, it's got some weird features. For instance, I'm not 100% sure why we need thumb studs and dual flippers, but it's hard to argue with success, and this has got a really nice action. The deten's a little soft when you compare it to something cheap, but it really works nicely. It waves open decently. If you really give it a flick, it's so much blade that it does come open, but you've really got to whack it hard. It is kind of smooth insofar as if we just push it past the detent and then give it a little shaky shake, it will almost drop shut. Now, it is quite a large blade, so you definitely don't want any part of the gooey bits inside the guillotine, because that thing will snap it off and won't even know what happened. The handles are, the pocket clip develops a little bit of a click because it's hovering, but you can get all musical on it. That'll drive your spouse crazy if they doesn't. Other things to consider about the Luzon, the heat treat is silly good. So this is 8CR13. It is not a fancy steel. In Canada, these are about an $80 knife based on the volume of steel you're getting, which is a little funny because you can get machetes for $20 at Walmart that are not made of as good as steel, but you can get more steel for that money. This is roughly comparable. Well, not actually, because the Cold Steel Wakizashi machete, I think, was in the $60 range, and this folder is at just about 80-ish. The weird feature, I don't really know why I would want a slide lock to lock it open. And I can't tell you whether or not that slide lock actually makes the material of the liner lock more robust. It does block the liner lock so that you can't close it, but that doesn't make it any more a fixed blade than not having that slidey gizmo does, at least in my opinion, because you're still relying on the crush force of that you could generate on the blade onto the liner lock bar. It does seem to be steel on steel, and if you snap this knife open super hard, and I mean like you wave it like it belongs to somebody else, you can, at least on this particular model, get the lock bar to overextend and stick a little bit at the open position even without the gizmo. Now if you said I'm going to make a knife this big and put a little slidey gizmo so that it won't open, that might be a feature. And that's the way it was presented to us in the store. But they had so many amazing knives, I can absolutely understand why they would make a simple mistake like misjudging this as a lock closed gizmo rather than a lock open gizmo. Everything about this knife feels really good. You've got all kinds of reach. I mean, you can palm it way back here. Hey, Jimmy, I know, right? So you can palm it way back here, and it is just crazy large. What's amazing about this, and we talked about it for a brief moment, is the steel. Oh, you were going to come and join us? Oh, I see. You just want to play. All right. And so the heat treatment is ridiculous on these. I have another cold steel knife with a similar steel. You'll know what it is, the mini leatherneck, as the 8CR13 MOV, and it does not have the edge retention that this guy does. Now, one of the things that we learned with this knife, full disclosure, is that sharpening with the 140 grit stone and then polishing on the factory V edge is more than you need in order to get this knife to really perform. But the edge retention, you can sit around this fire and whittle your kindling to get started a fire with this guy, and that steel doesn't run out of giddy up and go. On other knives that we have in the same steel, it does. And so I'm not sure what to say except that Jimmy loves it, and you can hear his wholehearted endorsement. But I'm really, really happy about it. As a matter of fact, we're going to try this sharpening technique. We're going to reduce the edge angle that we put onto the leather neck as part of our other videos. Feel free to check that out, mini leather neck. And so we're going to increase the angle, and we're going to use the same stones to see whether or not we can get a similar result, to see whether or not it really is the heat treat on the Luzon. I don't know whether or not we'll circle back to that, because that's a bit detail-oriented. I know, boy, I know. But we'll see. In any case, Cold Steel Luzon. Is it a good buy? Well, in the US, this is $42. There was no tax, so that's a cheap price for so much knife. Is it too big? Actually, no. It pretty well disappears in the pocket of a pair of jeans, and the wave open is really nice. So, from all of us here, including Jimmy, oh, he is wound for sound today. He knows I'm talking to you, and I'm not talking to him. But in every way and on every day, we hope that you have a fantastic 2024, and if you have a chance to get one of these Luzons, that's a grenade you should jump on. Coming right for you. Bye for now.